Another great day to be a trader. Monday, August 5th, 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard. Let's take a look at what is going on in the news today. Dow plummets 1,100 points as global equity market rout continues, struggling on Wall Street. Japan plunging. Tom Lee looks like a growth scare. VIX gauge tops 50, tripling since Thursday. Magnificent Seven stocks post a record drop in wider market rout. Crazy stuff, guys. Plus geopolitical tension in the Middle East. What else could get added to the mix here? So, what is actually going on right now in the markets? A huge part of this is one, the Fed is late on the rate cut, as we all knew. We knew the Fed wouldn't get it right. And them doing an emergency rate cut now is going to probably induce more fear in the market, so it's kind of too late. But furthermore, the carry trade, the Japanese carry trade. I mean, this thing is trending all over the news right now. If we look in the past 24 hours, your stock's now trade at the mercy of the Japanese yen. Global carry trade unwind extends. Japan yen surges to 7-month high. Carry trade route extends as peso and Aussie sink. Yen jumps. Global stock market slide as Japan suffers biggest fit. This is huge, guys. I mean, this unwinding is not nearly as catastrophic as it could be, and who knows? Maybe we get there. Maybe this gets a lot worse before it gets better, but like, let's just take a quick look here at these markets. I mean, I want to look at currencies for a second here because if you look at the yen, this is just crazy stuff. I mean, we're almost back to year highs. So again, this isn't like the craziest thing, but how fast this thing has moved up in the past couple of days alone. I mean, these are daily candles here. I mean, look at this move in the past just like 2 weeks. Really, really crazy stuff, guys. And then the Swiss, which is really a safe haven, is just rocketing to the upside. The Aussie got completely crushed, and this by far is the greatest trade that I have taken so far in my trading career. This trade, we got in right around here at 675. This thing sold off. We exited one position, we exited another, we exited the last one on this drawdown, and I had a trailing stop in place that I shouldn't have had going in overnight. So then it bought two positions, even though I was already sold out of my other positions. And then we actually caught an upside move. So we actually got lucky and made even more profit on Australian dollar as it retraced back up. So really crazy stuff in the overnight session last night. We're out of Aussie. We've made, in terms of a risk to reward, I think it was about an 8-to-1 risk to reward. We profited 8x our risk, which was absolutely incredible. We're still in on the pound. I don't really like how this is moving up a little bit, so we're going to have to watch that closely. Canadian looks like it's having a reversal today. Swiss up, Japan up. The New Zealand dollar looked like it bottom wicked over there. A lot of stuff looks like it's trying to claw back. Silver was way down, I think 6% at one point. Gold was way down. It's just really hard to catch these bottom wicks if you don't know when the selling is going to stop. Same thing with palladium. We actually get stopped out overnight. It bought and sold, hit our stop, and it drew all the way down to 813. I'll be surprised if we go lower than that. It's already clawing back to 850, which is really interesting. It's just hard to, during the carnage, you take the elevator down, right? And things just sell off very quickly. But Bitcoin completely decimated. At one point, I think down over 20%. Ethereum was down 30% at one point. All the stops get pulled. Nasdaq's trying to claw back right now. It's down 3.5. S&P's down 3, and we hit all of these price targets that I drew out on Sunday night that said, hey, if we're going to go short here, we're going to try to get a pullback. It's probably going to go to this price level. Boom, it's already way past it. Didn't even get the trade on. Same thing with the emerging market index. Boom, it's already gone. That trade was missed. The Russell's down almost 5%. mean, that's just crazy market moves, guys. And for people that wrote off the yen carry trade, like, hey, yeah, it's probably not that big of a deal. Like, sure, maybe this is the extent of it. Maybe it's a 4% drawdown in a day for the entire market, and then we kind of do a V recovery. That's totally possible. But there was still some damage done, right? And that trade, the yen carry trade, still is playing, potentially still playing out, but did play out to a degree. So, if you look back on one of my earlier reports, I called it out earlier last week when nobody really was paying much attention to it. And now we're looking at the yen being up, 3% in a day. We're looking at the markets getting liquidated 3 or 4%. It's probably a correlation there. And the VIX hitting, 50. These are VIX futures, so it's not going to show 50, but yeah, I mean, crazy stuff, guys. Crazy, crazy stuff. We're out of Australian dollar. Only position we're in now is British pound short, Swiss franc long. And we are looking at, if we go ahead and pull up some of these charts, what are we looking at? Well, we're out of the Australian dollar. Great, great trade. New Zealand dollar's close, but not there yet. I think we're going to get on Canadian dollar here. I think this reversal is really a sign for us to get in. The fact that everything else is getting liquidated and Canadian dollar's up almost 0.5% is a really good sign, really good indication to me. Cotton's not looking too good. Probably stay away from that. Oats also not really looking too good. Where are we? Oats. Not really looking good. Unleaded gas getting liquidated like all the other energies. Coffee, we're cautious on. Palladium, I mean, we're looking now at like below 850 for an entry. Try to catch a bottom reversal at some point on the hourly or the 4 hour chart. It's going to be really tough to get in on this now. We don't know where that bottom's going to end up. We're at, I think we're at like an 8 year low or something on Palladium. So that's going to be tough. The MME short, emerging markets is gone. We're not going to short the VIX like I talked about. That was going to be a crazy, risky thing to do. I mean, if anything, we maybe consider it now if we get up a little further, but just too risky of a position there. S&P, we missed it. The gold short, what do we do? We closed the position last night. Gold started to rally, which was a good call, and then it liquidated. So you know what? We don't get every trade. We missed it. We broke even. We got out of gold. Even tried to get in long earlier this morning. Took a small loss. Gold being liquidated in this market is really scary to me because that does show, I think, some degree of the yen carry trade. People are liquidating gold positions likely to cover where they've borrowed against the yen and potentially got margin called. And these are not usually individuals, these are institutions. Nat gas going lower as expected. It was down to $1.88 earlier. Probably stay away from that for a bit. Bitcoin long, man, who knows? Like, who knows where the bottom is on this thing? Um, it might. I think it's probably put in. We probably have to gap fill now, somewhere around 63,000, like that bottom wick. But you know, right now we're gonna just wait, see if the carnage ensues, or see if it kind of slows down and dies down here, and let's see if the Fed gets involved or has an emergency meeting or says something. I'd be a little bit surprised just because I think it's gonna cause more fear than it would solve things. So I don't know. Let's see how markets play out. We're well in profit on our Swiss franc. We made a killing on Australian dollar, and we are well up on the pound. So yeah, we'll talk again tomorrow. Thanks.